No, talk about football games, the Packers and the 49ers. That, if you're really concerned about the conditions being an advantage or disadvantage to a certain team, the real challenge, the real team of the real challenge this weekend is New Orleans. New Orleans going into Philadelphia. The Saints just do not win on the road. They play in the Dome, but they just have a tough time. You can look it up. They have a tough time on the road wherever they go. And when you start adding cold weather to it, it gets even tougher. This has been documented for them. They lose in Seattle. You remember 2 years ago, the Saints, I think, were 11-5. The Seahawks were 7-9, but made the playoffs, won the division at 7-9, so they got a home game. The 11-5 Saints go out there and lose because nobody wins in Seattle because that stadium is constructed in such a way as to shield. It's not a dome, but there's a roof, essentially, over the upper deck, so that the fans stay dry in the rains of Seattle. That keeps the noise in. It's the noisiest stadium in the league. And only one team has won in Seattle, one road team in the last 2 years, and that's the Arizona Cardinals, just last month. So the Saints have the biggest challenge going into Philadelphia, playing a road game in the elements. It's going to be cold. I don't think there's any snow or rain forecast. But get this. Let's go to Sal Palantonio this afternoon on SportsCenter on ESPN.
Ice and snow and Eagles fans don't exactly mix, so it's a security issue as well as a safety issue. The Philadelphia Police Department also tells me that what they are doing is adding extra undercover police officers dressed in New Orleans Saints gear. Why? Because when the Detroit Lions came here and lost in the snow, a Lions fan wearing a Barry Sanders jersey was attacked outside Lincoln Financial Field and beat up, and they want to crack down on that. They're putting the word out now that undercover detectives will be in Saints garb looking for hooligans who decide to act up.
So, the latest NFL controversy is undercover cops making sure that Philadelphia fans don't beat up Saints fans. If there are any, they just don't engage in general mayhem. And the undercover cops are going to be wearing Saints garb to attract the hooligans in Philadelphia, attacking them. You know, it does have borders on it. This is the place. The former governor of Pennsylvania was a season ticket holder at the Eagles over at the Vet, and he used to throw snowballs from the upper deck. Ed Rendell. This is the place Santa Claus got booed. Yeah, they've in Philadelphia, they've got a courtroom in the stadium. They did. I don't know if they do at the Link, but at the Vet, they had a courtroom in the stadium to handle misdemeanors that took place and many felonies that took place while the game was going on. And so the Saints are going into a very, very raucous environment there where they don't do well on the road anyway. That's if there's one team with a disadvantage being on the road, you might think it's the 49ers going into Green Bay. It's actually the Saints going into Philadelphia.